Hey Math 8, it's Mr. Vargas here, just checking in to help you with some of your homework. This is homework 4.6, page 323. We're going to go over a few problems together. I hope this helps. Alright, let's start out with number 2. Number 2 says, a water park charges a rental fee plus $1.50 per hour to rent inflatable rafts. The total cost to rent a raft for 6 hours is $15. Assume the relationship is linear. Find and interpret the rate of change in the initial value. So let's write down some of the information that we know. It costs $1.50 per hour. And when you purchase 6 hours, the total is $15. Okay, so let's work backwards a little bit and figure out how much of that total, how much of that 15 is the initial fee that we pay before we actually rent the raft. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take my $1.50 and multiply that by the 6 hours. Basically to find out how much I'm paying for all of those hours. And when you multiply that out, that comes to $9. Which means when I take 15 that I paid and subtract the 9, that's a dollar sign, you get 6. So this $6 is going to be my initial fee. It's my initial fee. Alright, before I even rent the raft. Let's go ahead and model write a linear function for this. So we've got y equals x plus some b. So we need some slope and some b here to fill in our linear function. We know that it increases at $1.50 per hour. Where x is the number of hours, x is going to be how many hours I rented for, and y is the total amount that I pay at the very end. But before I even take it out for a ride and start accumulating those hours, I have to pay that initial fee of $6. And that's going to be your y-intercept. So let me write that a little bit neater now. So your equation is y equals 1.5 x plus 6. Alright, find and interpret the rate of change and the initial value. We have all the information that we need. This is your slope, your rate of change. So rate of change is just $1.50. And your initial value, what you have to pay before you even take the boat out, is a big whopping $6. Alright, so we just constructed a function and then we broke that down. In particular, it was a linear function. Let's look at number 4. Okay, for this problem it says Melissa frosted some cupcakes in the morning for a party. The table shows the total number of cupcakes frosted after she starts up after lunch. Assume the relationship between the two quantities is linear. Okay, that's important. It's going to be linear. So we know we're working with a line. Once again, y equals mx plus b is our general form, our general slope-intercept form for lines. Going back to the problem. Find and interpret the rate of change and the initial value. Okay, let me go ahead and draw this table really quick. I'm going to pause here and come right back. Alright, let's take a look at our table. Our x values are increasing by 5, while our y values, and once again our time is x and our cupcakes are y, while our y's are increasing by 4 every time. Okay, so let's find our rate of change. And remember, our formula is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You can use any 2 points here that you like, any coordinate pair to plug into our formula. So I'm just going to pick the first 2. So we've got the 0.528, that would be this pair, and we have 1032. Alright, so change in y over change in x, this is x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's go ahead and plug that into our formula. 32 minus 28, let me zoom in on this. Okay, so we've got our change in y here over our change in x, which is going to be 10 minus 5. 10 minus 5, which gets you 4 over 5. Which means every 5 minutes we are making 4 cupcakes. Okay, that's your slope, that's your rate of change. 4 cupcakes for every 5 minutes. So working backwards, let's find out how many cupcakes this person started with. And basically all that means is if we were to take away this 5 minutes and record that here at 0, what would we have to do to get from this point to this point here? Well, if the top is adding 5, the bottom is adding 4, so we can think of that backwards. 28 minus 4 would get you 24 for that box right there. So at the very beginning, before we even started cooking, you already had an initial value of 24 cupcakes. Okay, so those are the 2 pieces of information that the question asked us to find. This is our rate of change. I'm going to do the little triangle to shorten the, and this is the initial value right there. Alright, good luck on the rest of the assignment. See you tomorrow.